So today, so once again, I will and this week and the next week. So we will revise the nasal nose, nasal cavity, and paranasal air sinuses. Okay. So those who are not understood anything in this nasal cavity, so for them once again I repeat. So here, so in this slide, so we will study about the parts of the nose. Okay. So one is the part is it is the tip of the nose, the root of the nose, and then in between the tip and root. So the structure it is called the bridge or the dorsum of the nose. And then we have a nostrils, okay, and then the wings. So above the nostrils we have a wings or it is a alar. So that is a alar cartilage, okay, or that's why it is called ala. Okay, and then the each nostrils, so each openings, nostril means the openings of the nose, each openings they are separated by a structure that is called nasal septum. Okay, next, the bone is, as we already discussed, the bone is made up of, it is a partly bony and partly cartilaginous structure. Okay. What are the bones involved in the nose? They are, the one is, as you already know, that is the nasal bone. And then frontal process of maxilla. So that means a small process, it is coming from the maxillary bone. So that is the meaning here. Frontal process, the process coming in the front of the maxilla. So that is the meaning of this sentence. That's why it is called frontal process of maxilla. Next one is nasal part of frontal bone. So where it is nasal part, a small piece of bone. See here, you can see above this arrow. So above this arrow, this whole structure is the frontal bone. Okay. So it is the frontal bone which is attaching to the nasal formation of the nose. That part of the bone is called nasal part of frontal bone. See here. See here, the frontal bone, it is extending downwards. So that part is called the frontal part of, the nasal part of frontal bone. Okay. Next, it is formed by below by the plates of hyaline cartilage. What type of cartilage here? So here the nose is made up of hyaline cartilage. So what are the cartilage? It includes the nasal cartilage and the septal cartilage. Okay. Next. So today in the lab we will see this nasal cavity. So what are the importance of this nasal cavity? So it is a very important structure in the nose because most of the openings. So we in the next topic is about the nasal sinuses. Most of these sinuses, or in the previous lectures, in the when we are studying in the osteology and all, we have seen the the cavities. Okay, so these cavities they are having a connections. Yes, we have studied some connections. The bone is having connection, the orbital cavity is having a connection, the temporal fossa or temporal fossa and infratemporal fossa, they are having communications. Yes, So all these communications, they are mainly open in this area. So they are mainly it concerned with the sinuses. Okay, that when we come in the lab, so there we will study in detail. Okay, so there also you can see all these structures same as it is what you are seeing in the picture. Okay, next, what is nasal cavity? The nasal cavity, it is a cavity or a space behind the nose. So that's why it is called the nasal cavity. Just in the simple terms. So whereas the space behind the mouth, so that space is called oral cavity. Same like the space behind the eyeball. So that is called orbital cavity. Like that. Okay. It extends. So from where it extends? Extends from external nares. So that is the external part of the nose and posterior to the posterior nares, or these nares, they are called concaves. Okay, so 1 2 3, so till here. Okay, from here to here, so this area is called the nasal cavity. Okay, so how it is divided? So most probably, so this division, it will make a confusion. So this confusion we will clear in the lab. So how this divisions takes place? That in the, so when we cut any structure or any, so when we cut in the middle, so it makes a two part. So that is the right and left part. Okay. So these two parts, they are separated by what? By the nasal septum. Okay. Then the nasal cavity has, this is the floor, the roof, the what you are seeing, this is the lateral wall. Okay. Above this, so there is a small thin sheath like structure, small thin paper like or a sheath like structure. That structure is called the nasal septum. This is clear here? It is clear now? Okay. So remember, so before seeing this structure, what I am showing, this one, this one, this one. So there is a one covering. So once you remove this cover, that covering is called the medial wall or the nasal septum. Okay. And once inside the cover, what you see, that is the lateral wall. Now, the roof is made up of what structure, and what are the structures forming in the floor? The roof is made up of anteriorly by the nasal bone. This is the roof here. From here it starts. So this is the nasal bone here. And then the base of the, or the nasal process of frontal bone. See here, this part. This is the frontal bone here. So everything is joined here. So one is you have a nasal bone and the frontal process of nasal bone. Both are, they forms the anterior wall. Next, posteriorly. So posteriorly, what you have? The sphenoid. So always remember the sphenoid bone. So this is also one of the landmark for many structures. Okay. So when you study the pharynx, or when you study the pharynx, so there also it is a very important landmark from where the pharynx starts. Okay. Here also the body of the sphenoid bone, here this part. Okay, and then in the middle, in between this, you have a ethmoid bone. So which part of the ethmoid bone? That is a cribriform plate here, this one. Next, same as the floor. Just remember, the floor is made up of what? The hard palate. Okay, one. So this hard palate is made up of, so what all the bones involved in hard palate? So that is the palatine process of maxillary bone and the horizontal plate of palatine bone. Okay. So when you see the palate, you have seen two bones. Okay. So when you study the in the lab I have shown. So when you see the hard palate, so there are two bones lying straight and two bones below horizontally. Next, the medial wall. The medial wall, what is there? So that is it is also called the nasal septum. You can write the medial wall of the nasal cavity or the nasal septum also you can write. Okay, both are same. So this rarely situated in the midline. A severely deviated septum may interfere with the drainage of the nose and the paranasal sinuses, because behind this all the sinuses they open. So this nasal septum, it is a midline structure. Okay, and it is an osteocartilaginous portion. It means the bony and cartilaginous. So it has the combination of the bone and the cartilage. Okay, so it is covered by mucoperiosteum. So mucoperiosteum is mucous membrane and the bone. Okay, next, superiorly. So how it is formed? So what are the bones involved in this? Superiorly by the vertical plate of ethmoid bone. So one is you have the ethmoid bone and then the vomer bone in the posterior side here, and the anteriorly it is a septal cartilage. This blue color one, it is the cartilage. So here you have the ethmoid bone, the vomer bone and the septal cartilage. Next comes to the lateral wall. What is there in the lateral wall? Okay, so mainly this lateral wall is made up of the shelf-like structures. You are seeing in this diagram, you can see. So these are the shelf-like structures. Okay, here also. See here, this and this. Okay, and then one more important point here. What it is? So this superior and middle. So these self-like structures, they are called conchae. Okay, superior concha, middle concha, and inferior concha. So one thing you remember, this superior and middle, so they are from the single bone. Okay, they are coming from the ethmoid bone. Okay, see here, superior and middle. So they are the part of the ethmoid bone. Whereas the lower one, you can see the color of this. So orange color. So this, it is a separate bone. Next. Above the superior concha, so there is a space. So this space is called sphenoethmoidal recess. Recess means it is a small space. Okay. And then below this concha, you have a space that called meatus. Superior concha, superior meatus. Middle concha, middle meatus. Inferior concha and inferior meatus. Okay. Next. So how this lateral wall is formed? So this lateral wall is formed by combination of many structures. They are maxillary bone, the lacrimal bone, ethmoid bone, the palatine perpendicular plate of palatine bone, and middle pterygoid plate of sphenoid bone, and inferior nasal concha. All these structures, they forms the lateral wall. So as I already mentioned, always remember, you should remember these three conchas and three meatus. Okay. So here we have sphenoethmoidal recess where it is above the superior concha and superior meatus below the superior concha. This I already explained. So next, the important structure also, what it is. In the middle meatus, so there is a structure, it is called bulla ethmoidis. It's a small elevation. It's formed by middle ethmoidal sinus. So the opening of middle ethmoidal sinus, it opens here. It makes a small elevation. So that elevation is called bulla. Okay. And then there is a one more structure. So that structure is called hiatus semilunaris. So it is hiatus semilunaris. It is a small groove-like structure. It will be like this. Okay. Groove below the bulla. So where it is present? Hiatus is present below the bulla. Okay. So what it contains? It contains the openings for frontal, maxillary and anterior ethmoidal sinus. Okay. So remember what are the openings? Because the ethmoidal sinus, it has three parts. Always you have to mention the which part of the ethmoidal sinus. So that is most important. Okay. So in the next slides, the divisions of ethmoidal sinus, it will come. So what are the divisions? So I will tell now also, and there also I will repeat. So ethmoidal sinus is having three parts. So one is anterior, posterior and middle ethmoidal sinuses. So there are three ethmoidal sinuses. Okay, like that. And the inferior meatus below the inferior concha. Next, see here. So in this diagram, you can easily remember concha meatus, concha meatus, concha meatus. Why these conchae are required? So these conchae are required when we take the air. So regularly we are breathing. So this breathing, it increase, we need a more space. So these conchae, they helps in increases the surface area of the nasal cavity, because we are regularly breathing. So it require more space. So that's why these concaves, they increases the surface area. And then what they contains. So these concaves, that's why I already told in the beginning. So what they contain? They contain the openings of paranasal sinuses and nasolacrimal duct. So where it is present? Nasolacrimal duct. Anyone can answer? Where it is present? No, 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 no. Not in the nasal cavity. Okay. So you find out this where the nasolacrimal duct is present. Okay. Find out and tell me in the lab. Okay. And this is a small work for you. Okay. Then. And then this we already told. Above the superior concave, you have a sphenoethmoidal recess. So this contains what? Opening of sphenoidal sinuses. And then the superior meatus. So below the superior, so in the superior meatus, so what you have? You have the opening of posterior ethmoidal sinus. In the inferior meatus, remember the inferior concave and inferior concave is the largest concave of all the three. So what it receives? The inferior meatus, it receives nasolacrimal duct. Okay. So these are very important things you should remember. And then this nasolacrimal duct, it is guarded by lacrimal fold of mucous membrane. In the middle meatus, this as I already told, so there is a small elevation. Excuse me. It is called middle ethmoidal sinus. This is also called the bulla. So where the ethmoidal sinus opens. Below this, so it is a hiatus. So what it contains? The hiatus receives the openings of maxillary sinus. Anterior end of the hiatus is a funnel shaped infundibulum. So there is an opening for infundibulum and which receives the opening of the frontal and anterior ethmoidal sinus. So here, 1 minute. So if this is the hiatus, it is like this. This anterior one, so this upper part is called infundibulum. So in the infundibulum, you have the opening of frontal sinus, and then you have the anterior ethmoidal sinus, and then here you have the opening of the maxillary sinus. Okay. Next. So this picture we will discuss today in the practical. Okay. Then the nerve supply. The nerve supply is the ophthalmic and maxillary nerves and the anterior part. So here the anterior part of the nose is supplied by anterior ethmoidal nerve and the posterior part is supplied by nasal and nasopalatine and palatine branches of maxillary nerves. This I already told, this you leave it. And then the blood supply, the sphenopalatine artery, alar and septal branches, the anterior and posterior ethmoidal arteries. So remember these branches from where they are coming. Okay. The venous drainage, so the veins of the nasal cavity, they drain into the facial, ophthalmic and nasopalatine veins. So whereas the lymphatic drainage, it is by the vestibule of the nasal cavity. They drain into the submandibular lymph nodes, and the rest of the nasal cavity, they drain into the upper deep cervical lymph nodes. Okay, so these are the functions. You just revise. And then, so these are the clinical notes. So what are the things they will happen in the nasal cavity? Okay, so that is, so one is how to examine the nasal cavity. So why the trauma is there, and then infection. Usually it is most commonly you will find the infections in the nose, and then so nowadays it is more conscious about the COVID virus also. We should wear mask and we should protect the nose. Okay, and the bleeding. So the last time somebody has asked about the bleeding. So now today we will discuss in the lab. So how the nasal bleeding starts. It is also called the term epistaxis. Okay, and then this also I will tell what is deviated nasal septum. So I will show, then only then you will understand. So what is the part of the nasal septum in the nose? Okay, next. So here, so next comes to the another important structure. So they are called nasal sinuses. So what are these sinuses? You are seeing this picture. So these pictures, there you are having, you are seeing different color of spaces. So what are these? So these are the spaces here. Because of these spaces, so this is the cross section. Because of these sections, we can move our head, or our head is very lightly. Otherwise, if these spaces, they are filled by something, water or what happens? So they will sometimes, there may be chances of heaviness in the face. What happens? Just like you just think, this I might have told already. What happens? So when you fill the air in the bubble, sorry, air in the balloon, so that balloon will float. The same mechanism here. So what happens if the air, when you burst the balloon, it will blast and it will lose its shape. The same mechanism here. So these are the air-filled cavities. Air-filled cavities. So that's why our head is moving according to our directions. Okay. Then what are the sinuses? So these are air-filled cavities located in the bones around the nasal cavity. You got it? Why? Why I told the nasal cavity is important? Because all these sinuses, they open in the nasal cavity. That is why we should have very good hygiene for our eyes, nose and mouth, because all are interconnected inside. If any infection in this area, it transmits to other part of the body very easily. Okay. So what are the sinuses? So they are the ethmoidal sinus, the sphenoid sinus, the frontal sinus, and the maxillary sinus. Out of this, the maxillary sinus is the largest sinus. Okay. And then these sinuses, they are lined by respiratory mucosa. There is a small epithelium or mucus layer. So it is called respiratory mucosa in the nasal cavity. They drain into the nasal cavity through relative small apertures. Small aperture means how they open into the nasal cavity? They open into the nasal cavity by a small opening. Aperture means openings. Okay. Drain of the sinuses mainly depends upon the movement of the cilia. So what do you mean? What is the meaning of cilia? What is the cilia here? The cilia means, so in the respiratory epithelium, there are small finger-like projections. Okay. So these helps in the movement of any particles. So they helps in the removal of dust particles, and so that is the main function of these cilia. So that is more in detail. So that we'll discuss whenever the time comes. Okay. So here you remember the sinuses. So what are the sinuses present in the, what are, these are the four paranasal air sinuses. Next. So these are the functions: humidifying and warming the inspired air. Humidifying. So because we take the air inside and they make some, whatever the air we take, it goes according to our body temperature. So that is the humidifying and regulation of intranasal pressure. So they also maintains the pressure inside our the head or cranium and increases the surface area of olfaction. And so increases the olfaction means the smell. This I already told lightens the skull and acts as a resonant chamber. So because of these air sinuses, so our voice or whatever the sound we produce, it is the help of all these sinuses, and they also act like a shock absorbers. Okay. And they contributing the facial growth. So these sinus in the during the development of the baby, they helps in the growth of the face. So these are the few functions. Mm, we'll do one thing, we'll stop here because so from here it is some few important things, so we will discuss in detail in the next class. Okay. It is better. So in the meantime, today in the lab also I will give a small picture about this sinuses also. Okay. So that you will understand better. Okay. So is there any doubts in the nasal cavity or about till about the paranasal, introduction of paranasal air sinuses? So don't forget your work. So I told you should tell me where the nasolacrimal duct is present. Okay, that is your work. So you have to tell in the lab. Okay, and what time you will come for the lab today? Okay, come exactly at 1 o'clock. Okay, you are correct. So further we will discuss in the lab about the nasolacrimal duct. What you told it is correct. And you should in the lab you should show me the location. So where is that location? Okay. Okay then. Meet you in the lab.